Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Happy Monday. Hey there, how are you? I hope everybody's having a positive, productive, peaceful start to their day today. It's another hot, humid day out there. I hope everybody's drinking their water, staying cool, staying safe, finding that self-discipline and that motivation that we need to get up and push through another day. Some days are harder than others, but just put your best foot forward and do what you can to get through. Everybody's days are different. Everybody's life is requiring something different of them. Remember what we talked about yesterday. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to admit that you're not okay. We all have days that are harder than others, but that doesn't mean that it's any less valuable. Every day is an opportunity to get up and try again. I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High are with you today, loving you, encouraging you, supporting you. Don't forget to thank them, acknowledge their presence, acknowledge the many blessings that we get each and every day. Just waking up in the morning is a blessing in itself. All right, we're going to get into it. We're going to get our morning mantra for the day. Then we'll get our affirmations. Let's just talk about it. Oh, look at that. It came back out again. The same thing we got yesterday. I am braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one in the eye and giving it a slow motion nod. Most definitely. We are braver than we think. Setting boundaries doesn't make me a jerk. Setting boundaries prevents me from being a jerk on the bottom of the deck. Don't be afraid to set those boundaries. Today, I'll notice all the little ways I'm loved, nurtured, and supported. Go ahead, universe. That's your cue. Beautiful. You are braver than you think. You're stronger than you think. A lot of times we don't realize how strong we are until we don't have any choice but to be strong. Don't be afraid to look those dragons in the eye and take them down one at a time. Hello, happy Monday. Hello, happy Monday. I hope everybody's having a positive, productive day today, beating the heat in whatever way you can. Boy, it's hot and humid all over the U.S. I don't know what it's like overseas, but it's hot and humid here. Make sure you're drinking your water. If you can, limit your time outside. The only way I could do that was by getting, stay hydrated. Limit your sun exposure to, 30 minutes at a time if you can stand it. Sometimes we don't have a choice but to be out in it. Find the shade if you can. All right, let's get a grief affirmation for the day. We got 3 mantras out here today. Setting boundaries doesn't make me a jerk. Setting boundaries prevents me from being a jerk. The first time the government had ever issued such a... Oh, yeah. I hope you're getting through it okay. All right. Our grief affirmation for the day. Though my grief is painful, it is a natural, necessary, and healthy response to my wounds. I can learn to work with these feelings so that they can eventually guide me to a place of healing and safety. Remember that grief is natural. We all grieve in different ways. The only way you could make me a happy day today for everyone is looking at my tweets for my next post. Okay. I'll check that out as soon as I get done on here. For sure, for sure. All right, now we'll get our chakra wisdom affirmation for the day. Yesterday we got solar plexus self-discipline. Go back to our morning mantras. Setting boundaries requires a lot of self-discipline. It requires a lot of self-love. And then we also got today, I'll notice all the little ways I'm loved, nurtured, and supported. Go ahead, universe. That's your cue. Acknowledging that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High, they want what's best for us. Sometimes we self-sabotage because either we don't set those boundaries or because we lack faith and confidence in ourselves. I realize some days it's easier said than done, to set those boundaries, to love on ourselves a little bit more. But remember, you are braver than you think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one in the eye and giving it a slow motion nod. What's that dragon? What's that demon that you're fighting today? Is it procrastination? Is it lack of boundaries? Is it fear? I'm struggling with my own fear today. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. I haven't been to the dentist in a long time. I have a lot of fear when it comes to going to the dentist. So we all have different struggles. That we got sacral chakra creative manifestation. We just got that the other day. Grand Rising. Happy Monday. Arizona. Boy, I bet it's hot there. It's hot here, so I'm sure it's really hot in Arizona. And then we got meditation and silence. It hasn't been that long since we gotten either one of those. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Connect with spirit, throat chakra. Top of the deck, self-sufficiency. I hope you are able to stay cool. Don't forget to drink your water. Stay hydrated. We're going to keep going with the chakra affirmations. We're going to try to get a different one. We got all those last week. But if nothing else, that tells us that the energy is still the same. You are braver than you think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town. Set those boundaries. If that's a demon that you're coming up against, a dragon that you're fighting, don't be afraid to set those boundaries. Also, don't forget to notice all the little things that we have to be grateful for. Just the fact that we got up this morning is something to be thankful for. Still hot, not getting hotter. Well, at least it's not getting any hotter. All right, let's see. Compassion and forgiveness. Compassion for yourself. Compassion for the people around you. That's, the attitude of gratitude is the best way to start off any day. Yeah, it's a positive way to get your day started for sure. All right, compassion and forgiveness. Heart chakra, which is represented by the fragrance of jasmine. I have compassion for myself and for those around me. I let go of anger, resentments, and torments from the past, and I do not give my power away to those involved. Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. I forgive myself for the things I feel I could have done differently in the past, and I remind myself that my response could not have been any more evolved than it was at that time. I'm compassionate to those in need, as this shows them that they are not alone. I practice this by listening, sharing, understanding, and being of service. And I don't have my lighter, so let me get up and get that real quick. This world really lacks a lot of compassion. So many people, I say it every day, so many people, that's all they need is a little understanding, a little empathy, a little bit of love. When you meet different people throughout your day, act out of kindness, love, compassion, understanding. It goes a long way. It really can turn somebody's day around. All right. Now we'll get our affirmations from the Wild Offering Oracle. Yesterday we got intention, despair, and aging. Don't let the fact that you're aging cause you to be in despair. Set intentions each and every day. Whether your intentions are to set boundaries, whether that intention is to be a little bit more compassionate and understanding. Not only with yourself, but with the people that you come in contact with each and every day. This is a judgment-free zone. If you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to be compassionate, you can get that here. Yes, I have a system that I go through, but I'm always willing to stop what I'm doing to listen and to understand, to encourage, to give advice. I know a lot of people just need a little bit of extra compassion in their day. None of us are perfect. We all have things that we're struggling with, and I can understand that. I would like to say look forward to getting older. Oh, 63. Nice. Thankfully, I'm to that point in my life where I can look at getting older from a positive point of view. It's not always easy, but you know, if we take care, if nothing else, if we learn anything from it, we learn to take a little bit better care of ourselves. And we look at that. Intention came right back out. Divine timing on the bottom of the deck. And self-acceptance. What were we just, wow, what was I just talking about? You know, accepting ourselves the way we are, accepting our body for, you know, the natural process that it goes through. We all get older, whether we want to or not. And, you know, I think it was when I turned 30 that I really started looking at getting older differently instead of going through like that breakdown that a lot of women go through, especially now. Getting older to me is a blessing. You know, there's so many people it was 11:11 when I looked at the timer. There's so many people that lose their lives at a very young age. They don't get the privilege of getting wrinkles. They don't get the opportunity to, you know, feel the benefits of getting older. Oh, yeah. When you get older, you really do learn what's truly important in life, you know, and getting older is something that you don't really worry about anymore. You start to embrace it. All right, intention. Intention is simply allowing the will and the mind to align and move in harmony. May I always focus on the highest. My intention is that all God's wishes for me come true. We got that yesterday. Setting clear intentions for our day, for our life. All right, and then we got divine timing. We saw divine timing with our affirmators deck the other day. The divine brings things in the timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear divine. And then self-acceptance. Accepting yourself just the way you are, you know, embracing the journey, knowing that every day is an opportunity to heal, to love yourself a little bit better, you know, to embrace the lessons that you've learned and apply them to make your life better. All right, self-acceptance. Nothing is more exhausting than endlessly working on yourself. When you offer your whole being to love, self-acceptance arises spontaneously. May I rest in our oneness, dear divine. No matter what you're struggling with today, love yourself despite the struggle. You know, whether you're dealing with fear, anxiety, depression, grief in any way, accept those feelings and try to take the time to truly reflect on them and understand them so that you can use them to grow and to better yourself. All right, now we'll pull from the affirmators deck. Yesterday we got get centered, love, and confidence. Have confidence in yourself despite whatever your struggles may be. Don't forget to take the time to get centered, to listen to your own inner voice, to connect with spirit. Love yourself a little bit extra. You know, when you start to love yourself, confidence comes along with that. And embracing who you are, despite your flaws. You know, none of us are perfect. Perfection is an illusion. You know, when you start to help yourself heal, it just becomes natural to want to help others heal. You don't want to see other people struggle. You don't want to see other people hurt. And, you know, that's what's brought me here. I strive to do that. I like to make people smile. I like to make people feel good. I don't like people being sad. You know, we all struggle with different things, whether it's feeling uncomfortable in your own body, you know, lacking self-love, self-confidence. Today, I'll notice all the little ways I'm loved, nurtured, and supported. The universe loves us, even when we don't love ourselves. You know, Actually, let's say the Lord's Prayer real quick. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, Ashe. We are all part of the Lord's family. We're all his children. We all have that God energy inside of us. Even though, some days it may not feel like it, we do. All right, we'll get some affirmations from the Affirmators deck. And then we'll pull from the Namaste deck. Spontaneity. Abundance on the bottom of the deck. Get centered on the top of the deck. I did some of that yesterday, even though it was hotter than all get out. I think when I was outside yesterday, the heat index was 102, even though the temperature was only 90. But I still took time to get grounded. When I put the dogs out, I stayed out with them. All right, spontaneity. Do you like spontaneous adventures of the highest caliber? The only acceptable answer to this question is yes. So buckle up, Charlie. You're about to take a wild ride through the unexplored, unconventional, and underrated. You're about to learn that yes is a magic word with the power to unlock new dimensions in space, time, and after-hour hangouts. Yes will lead you to experiences you didn't think possible and teach you that lifelong friendships are something lurking just behind a karaoke singer's mullet. Quote, there's a pretty good chance your name is not Charlie. So embrace those spontaneous moments, those opportunities that you get to be spontaneous. And then we got abundance. 2 bonus cards out here today. Congratulations. It seems you're due for a infinitely big piece of abundance pie. Feel like you don't deserve it? Knock it off. It's already plated and you're ready to hit your table. Reluctant to take it? Shut your hole. Abundance pie is big enough to serve everyone. So get your whipped cream ready, unless you're lactose intolerant, and enjoy your well-deserved metaphorical dessert. So welcome in spontaneity, welcome in abundance. Have that abundance mindset. Sometimes that requires getting centered. What do you truly want? What is abundance to you? Remembering that abundance doesn't necessarily mean a financial abundance. That can mean spiritual abundance, emotional abundance, the abundance of nurturing people, abundance of love. All right, get centered. When it gets to be too much, whatever it is, I close my eyes and return to my center. In my center, I have the wisdom and tranquility of my favorite animal, holding a magical item, floating through space on a piece of furniture. So take time to get centered. Take time to welcome in spontaneity. Take time to find out what abundance truly is for you. Abundance is different for everybody. What I may consider abundance, things that make me happy, may not be what you consider abundance. It may not be what makes you happy. And I'm so unprepared this morning. I just realized I don't have my drink either. Let me go get a bottle of water. Have you had your water today? If you haven't, go get you some. This is the time of year where it's more important than ever to stay hydrated. I'm going to get me some sleeves too. My blood isn't pumping just right yet, so my arms are a little chilly, but I don't want to cut my hair off because then I'll get hot in here. All right, there we go. Much better. Much better. I've been working on my bucket list lately. Has anybody else been working on their bucket list? I really need to start writing it down. I've only been kind of doing it in my mind. All right, now we're going to pull from the Namaste deck, the Stress Less deck. Yesterday, we got Make Friends with the Voice in Your Head and Reflect and Grow. Very much lining up with the Get Centered. We've seen that Get Centered card a lot here lately. Namaste, how are you? I hope everybody's having a positive, peaceful, and productive day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that today. A whole new world. I don't know. Oh, because we got the Get Centered card. I was like, I don't know why that song's popping in my head. Every time we get that card and it talks about the piece of furniture, I always think of Magic Carpet from the Aladdin movie. All right. Willie's Desert Hangout. I need to go check out his page. This is way too many, but we'll acknowledge them. The power of breath, back to basics, wash your hair, and lengthen your day. You know, for some people, if you're having a difficult day, just getting up and washing your hair, taking a bath, you know, doing your basic self-care routine, that can be hard for when you're struggling. It's okay, though. We'll make it through this day just like we made it through yesterday. Push through the pain. You have a really nice background. Thank you very much. I really, really like this tapestry. All right, we got Just Breathe. I'm pretty sure I got this off of Temu, but I could be wrong. I don't really order off Temu anymore, but there was a small space in time where I really got kind of hooked on it for a little while. But thank you. I really like it as well. All right. Just breathe. Concentrate. Align yourself with your breath. Intentionally breathe 8 times. Make every breath last a long time. Draw the breath in fully and exhale completely. Stress affects our breathing. The more we stress, the shallower our breaths. This will, in turn, affect our oxygen levels and our heart rate. This is a reason why we tend to feel tired when we are stressed. Mindfully focusing on our breathing will help our mind and body recover. We talk about it a lot here. First of all, making sure that you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. You know, I deal with it too a lot. But breath work can also kind of give you that meditation energy going right along with our Get Centered. But we talk about it a lot here that there is a different effect that it has on the biology of our body when you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. You absorb more oxygen that way. But a lot of times we're not even aware of the way that we're breathing. I started noticing it when I started working at the exercise facility and realizing that a lot of people, including myself, have a tendency to hold their breath when they exercise, which actually lessens the benefits that we receive from the workout. But making sure that you're taking big, deep breaths, not short, shallow breaths. Making sure you're filling up your belly when you breathe. All right, now we're going to pull from the Angel Numbers deck. Yesterday, we got 1515, Self-Care, 9, Take Action, and 7722, Ask for Help. We got a lot of energy yesterday about asking for help, not being afraid to ask for help, being able to admit to yourself that you're not okay, that you do need help. You know, a lot of us deal with that. And a lot of us don't have people that we can actually turn to say, hey, I need some help. Please know that this is a safe place for you to do that. This is a non-judgment zone. You know, I've been through so many trials and tribulations in my life. I don't judge anybody for what they're going through. You know, going back to our chakra affirmation, the heart chakra, compassion and forgiveness. Where do you think is the best advice for finding a partner? Ugh. That's dodgy ground. You know, a lot of times it's just a matter of putting yourself out there. You know, that's not really an area that I have a lot of experience. I kind of willingly took myself out of the dating world a long time ago. But you know that old saying, when you stop looking for it, it will find you. Whatever it is, whether it's love that you're looking for, whether it's, you know, an ideal career that you're looking for, usually when you stop chasing it and start really working on yourself, the right people will come into your life at the right time. I mean, that doesn't mean, you know, to close your eyes and not be aware, but, you know, just be aware of the energy that you're putting out. You know, for me, especially at least in person, I didn't realize it until a couple years ago that I can come off very aggressive, which can be very intimidating to a lot of people. But in reality, that's not really my personality. So, you know, maybe be aware of how you're presenting yourself to the world. I have a tendency to kind of keep my head down all the time. And, you know, that doesn't really attract that kind of energy. So the best advice I can give is just be aware of the energy that you're putting out. And, you know, if that's something that you really want, pray about it. Going back to our affirmations, the intention, set the intention, you know, ask the universe to bring that into your life. Let it be known that you're ready for that kind of commitment. That's the best advice I can give on that. I'm definitely not a relationship expert. That's something that I'm still learning myself. You know, I wouldn't mind having a companion in my life, but at the same time, I understand that, you know, not all of us are meant to be in relationships. You know, that's not necessarily our journey, but, you know, maybe pick up an extra, you know, maybe start a class, you know, be a group that you can become a part of that will allow you to meet other people, whether that's an exercise group or, you know, just get a hobby, you know, volunteer at the animal shelter. That would be, women love animals. Most women love animals, you know, so maybe you're the type of person that you don't really get the opportunity to meet other people. Find different activities that you enjoy that would open the door and allow you to just interact with other people. That's way too many. Yeah, we're just going to put those back. 420 was on the top of the deck. Yeah. Maybe that's an activity you enjoy doing, is some 420 activities. Depending on where you're at, you know, if you're somewhere where that's legal, you know, maybe embrace that as an extracurricular activity. All right, we got 88, 21, 21. 88, listen to your gut. And 21, 21, energetic balance. What were we just talking about? Being aware of your energy. How are you presenting yourself to the outside world? 33, anxiety. You know, sometimes putting yourself out there can cause some anxiety. And then we got 10, 10, embrace the journey. All right, so embrace the journey. Listen to your gut. Find energetic balance and anxiety. Very much lining up with the just breathe, the get centered. All right, 10, 10, embrace the journey. Journey, trust, opportunities, progress, happiness, and alignment. It's time to bring your cherished ideas to life. The right people, circumstances, and resources are aligning in your favor. Happiness and new opportunities are on the horizon. What steps can I take to embrace the journey ahead? How can I stay open to the new opportunities being sent my way? Take a moment to reflect on your long-held dreams and ideas. Begin implementing one step at a time, trusting that the universe is sending you the support that you need. Very much lining up with the spontaneity that we got from the affirmators deck and the intention that we got from the Wild Offering Oracle. You know, yes, embrace the journey, embrace spontaneity, but don't forget to set intentions each and every day. You know, of course, some of our intentions are going to be more simple than others. You know, for some of us, the best intention we can set is just getting ourselves up out of bed and washing our hair. All right, 88. Listen to your gut. Intuition, trust, inner voice, guidance, positivity, and alignment. When you are positively motivated, your goals and dreams will unfold as they should. Let your inner voice be your primary guide on this journey. In what areas of my life am I not listening to my gut? And how can I better align my inner voice? Take a moment to meditate or reflect on a current decision you are facing and listen carefully to your inner guidance to determine the best course of action. That's not necessarily always easy. Very much lining up with the get centered. Just breathe. All right, 2121, energetic balance. Balance, harmony, progress, alignment, dreams, and favor. Even though you may be striving for meaningful progress, things are moving in the right direction. This number signifies that everything is aligning in your favor and your dreams are soon to be realized. How can I stay balanced while pursuing my goals? What small steps will keep me aligned with my dreams? Going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, that bucket list, your goals, your dreams, your desires. Reflect on where you feel out of balance and make adjustments to restore harmony. Trust the universe is supporting you. Embrace the journey and move forward with faith in your dreams. Very much confirmation with the 1010 angel number of embrace the journey. Embrace the process. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut. Where is it leading you? All right, and then we got anxiety, 33. Isn't that a song that's been like on trending on the shorts here lately? Anxiety, somebody watching me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is. Calm, resilience, trust, support, inner strength, and overcoming fear. Don't let anxiety or stress take control, as they will only pull you into darkness where fear and panic prevail. Stay strong and trust yourself. The angels have faith in you. What are the sources of my anxiety, and how can I build trust in myself to overcome them? When you feel anxiety creeping in, take a moment to practice deep breathing or a grounding technique to remind yourself of your inner strength and the support around you. Just breathe. Have you ever seen that movie Ever After? It's the Cinderella story with Drew Barrymore. Just breathe. When you feel like you can't do anything else, just breathe. Big deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, now we'll pull from the Celestial Insights. Yesterday we got emotion, clarity, potential, surrender, and cherish. We have accept and heart on the cut as we're getting started, lining up with the heart chakra affirmation for the day. Compassion and forgiveness. Be compassionate and forgiving with yourself and with the people that you encounter today and any other day. Sometimes that's all people need is a little compassion, a little understanding. Forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made. Forgive yourself for, not feeling worthy. We all, I shouldn't say all of us, but a lot of us struggle with the feelings of not feeling worthy. We struggle to love ourselves. We struggle to be compassionate with ourselves. So try to find a support network. Try to embrace the people that the universe sends into your life that are loving and nurturing and kind. Going back to our morning mantra today, I'll notice all the little ways I'm loved, nurtured, and supported. Remember that, sometimes setting boundaries is the best form of self-love, especially if that's something that you struggle with. All right, celestial insights. We got 2 that came out. Accept, telepathy, soul happy, rekindle connection on the bottom of the deck, and link attract on the top of the deck. Embracing those connections that come in. All right, accept. Accepting things as they are can be a powerful step forward. You may be resisting change lately. Let go of control and you'll discover peace and new opportunities in the present moment. That can be hard for a lot of us to do. Accepting things the way they are. Accepting that, there's only certain things that we can control. And that does not include other people or the world outside of us. All right, and then we got telepathy. Your intuition is connecting you with others. Have you experienced moments of deep understanding with someone? Pay attention to these subtle connections. They could hold the answers you need. Accept and understand that people come into our lives for all different reasons. Sometimes they're there to teach us something. Sometimes we're there to teach them something. We're all teachers and we're all students in this game of life. All right, then we have soul happy, rekindle connection. This is the first time we're ever seeing this card. Your soul is longing to reconnect with something or someone. Have you drifted away from a meaningful connection? Take the initiative to rekindle this relationship or experience, as it may bring you deep joy. So embrace those opportunities when they come along to reconnect, either with yourself or somebody else. And then we have link and attract. You are attracting people and opportunities that align with your energy. Are you dissatisfied with your current surroundings? Shift your mindset and energy, and you'll begin attracting what you desire. Very much lining up with what we just talked about being aware of the energy that you put out in the world so that you can attract what you want to receive. I'm just moving this card because it was falling over. All right, now we'll pull from the Angel of Abundance deck. Yesterday we got ask for your needs to be met, bountiful nature, dreams of abundance, and have courage to ask for and accept help. For a lot of us, that's not easy. First of all, it's not easy to admit that we need help. Then it's not easy to ask for help. And then even when we do find the courage to ask for help, it's even harder for us to accept that help. That in itself can be one of those dragons that we need to slay. Going back to our morning mantra, I'm braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one of them in the eye and giving it a slow motion nod, like, I'm getting you today, mister. Setting the intention to overcome whatever dragon that is that you've been facing. Whether it's procrastination, whether it's lack of compassion for yourself, holding on to people, places, and things that no longer serve us. The angel numbers again, 1010, 2121, 88, and 33. It was 40 minutes exactly on the timer when I looked. All All right, angels of abundance. Being aware of the energy that we put out there. Successful funding. It hasn't been that long since we've seen that card. Partnership on the bottom of the deck. And declutter on the top of the deck. A lot about partnership out here today. Ooh, it gets super quiet in here when the air cuts off. All right, your idea is divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into reality. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. Isn't that interesting that that came out and we also got the partnership card? So embracing the partnerships that the universe sends your way, very much lining up with our celestial insights this morning. Soul happy, reconnect, rekindle and connection, link and attract, linking up with like-minded people, being aware of the energy that you put out, knowing that what you put out is what you're going to attract. All right, partnership. Allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career, and both parties benefit as a result. You're receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. So partnering up with people who are like-minded, that share the same goals and dreams that you do. And then we got declutter. You'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. Leaving room for that spontaneity that came up with our affirmators deck. You know, being flexible with your schedule. All right, now we'll pull from the Chakra Wisdom Actually, no. First, we're going to go in a different order today. We're going to pull from the Archangel Fire Oracle. I actually forgot to pull from this deck the last couple days, and I don't want to do that today, so we're going to go ahead and pull from this deck. We got Anuchiel on the bottom of the deck. He's the caveman looking guy. I'm not exactly sure why that's been happening here lately. For about the last, I guess really since I changed my setup, I've been forgetting each day. I forget to pull one. There was one day that I forgot to pull the gems and minerals. Yesterday I forgot to pull the Archangel. So yeah, we're going to pull from this deck. And then we'll pull from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. Archangel Fire Oracle. I've been trying to remember to show you guys the boxes too. All the decks that I use, you can find on Amazon. Eventually, I will get the links together so that I can start putting the links in the description box. All right, one more shuffle. We got Azrael and Metatron on the cut as we're getting started. My ankle is really bothering me today. You would think that sitting down and not putting my weight on it would help it feel better, but it really doesn't. $44.20 on the timer when I looked. We did see 420 in our angel numbers when we were shuffling that deck earlier. Gagiel, number 16, which breaks down to a 7. Ariel on the bottom of the deck. Sariel, however you want to say it, on the top of the deck. Sorry, my ankle really is bothering me today. All right. Number 16. She is of the yellow ray chakra, solar plexus. We actually got that chakra yesterday. Healing qualities: power, confidence, charisma, strong will, leadership, clarity, humor, joy, fun, confidence, empowerment, and self-esteem. Crystal associations: lemon calcite, yellow topaz, serpentine quartz. Essential oils: lemon and yangling. And then the star constellation, the Queen. What an angel to call on at the start of this incredible new era of change. Like the fierce Norse Viking warrioress in her card, powerful Gagiel's duty is to help us raise our personal vibration, and this is particularly useful as we collectively raise the frequency of the planet. What does this mean? All energy is constantly moving. Even that which appears solid and stationary would vibrate when viewed at the microscopic level. When something is very fast moving, it is harder to see with the naked eye. Light is an example of this, as are angels. On an exponential scale, our lighter emotions vibrate at a higher, faster rate than our so-called lower emotions. I just got goosebumps on my right leg. Which is why they can feel heavy and have a... wait a minute. On an exponential scale, our lighter emotions vibrate at a higher, faster rate than our so-called lower emotions, which is why they can feel heavy and have a tendency to get stuck in our body. Gagiel works to release the energy blockages that are preventing us from experiencing our highest possible timeline by raising our emotional frequency and bringing us back into alignment with Creator, our highest source of light and love. Gagiel has the power to harness and control powerful energy vortexes, which she directs into our energy field and chakra system to clear negativity and transform anything that is stuck. She is known as the head of the Order of the Gagalium, otherwise known as the Chariots of the Light Body. She governs the wheel of the sun, energy, and vibration. Her color is a beautiful glittering yellow gold like dazzling sunlight. As she is a solar angel, she helps you absorb the healing benefits of the sun and offsets sun damage to skin or property. She also brings balance to the weather patterns. Her general message: your power comes from God and is the essence of love. Do not be afraid to use your power for good. Claim back your sovereignty and give yourself permission to follow your inner guidance. Take control of the steering wheel of your life. Choose your direction. So very much lining up with the intention, the divine timing, and the self-acceptance we got in the affirmations. Make your intentions clear. Trust in divine timing. Accept yourself just as you are, but love yourself enough to grow and heal. To reconnect with your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High. Going back to our angel numbers, embrace the journey, 1010. Energetic balance, 2121. Listen to your gut, 88. And anxiety, 33. Release any anxiety. Embrace spontaneity. Welcome in abundance in all forms. Remembering that not all abundance is financial abundance. You know, you have emotional abundance, spiritual abundance. There's all different kinds. Don't get stuck in the box. All right, now we're going to pull from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. Yesterday, we got bitterness, enlightenment, faith, quest, and destiny. I don't think that box is going to stay there. Knowing that we are able to better appreciate the sweet when we've experienced the bitter. It's not always easy, but it is possible. I'll set it over there. All right, we got forgiveness on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started, which lines up with our heart chakra affirmation for this morning. And then soulmate on the top of the deck as we're getting started. All right. Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Get centered. Just breathe. If you can't do anything else, just breathe. Know that it's going to be okay. You're not alone. Your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High are there with you. Anytime you need help in whatever way, reach out to the spirit realm. Pray about it. Meditate on it. Get grounded. Forgive yourself. Be compassionate with yourself no matter what you're going through. Don't be hard on yourself. The world does that enough for us. All right, Chakra Wisdom Oracle. We got creation and acceptance on the cut as we're getting started. Yes, accept yourself just the way you are. But love yourself enough to not stay there. All right, we got facade, creation, and despondence. Enlightenment on the bottom of the deck. We saw that yesterday. And completion on the top of the deck. She's in a graveyard. I find that very interesting. We were just talking about the spirit realm. I don't think we've ever seen that card before. Creation, facade, completion, and despondence. All right, let's see. We'll start with creation, which in this deck is gray, which represents the crown chakra. She Shaman. I will guide you to your muse. In a time before history, She Shaman walks the earth, bestowing artistic talents on a select few. One day she rests under a birch tree. Hey, says Birch, I want my muse too. Birch entertains She Shaman for a long time, singing and telling tales. She Shaman smiles. My great friend, you have had your art all along. She vows that from then on, she will give everyone their own gift. To this day, She Shaman has never left us. We see her inside every creative work. Inspiration. Your path is an artistic one. Express your love in a tangible art form. It is time to make decisions. Personal inquiry. Am I waiting for someone's permission to create my life? What do I need to see in order to claim my own gifts? My nose is itching. Key ideas. Opening to magic, lasting transformation, divine feminine, awakening creativity, finding your muse, and owning your gifts. Keywords, creativity, muse, and magic. I'm not sure where we saw it the other day. We did get the magic card. I think that was from the Affirmators deck. There's that song, I Believe in Magic. I don't remember who sings that song, but remembering that magic is all around us. You know, going back to our morning affirmation, today I'll notice all the little ways I'm loved, nurtured, and supported. Be the creator of your own destiny. Create your own magic. Embrace those opportunities that we get to share our magic with other people, whether that's in the form of compassion, forgiveness, understanding. Sometimes that's all people need is a little compassion. All right, and then we got despondence. Violet Iris. By taking action, I found the road out. The legend. Iris is depressed and unable to look after herself or her home. She cries out to the great spirits for help. Mother Earth appears and suggests Iris shower, eat a good meal, and clean up her house. She does, but still feels despondent. Suddenly, a hurricane hits and Iris springs into action to rescue her neighbor's children. In the urgency, Iris finds the way out of depression by taking action. Inspiration. Iris teaches us that the only route out of stagnation is motion. Wow. I don't know why I said moment. All right. If we do nothing, we must accept the consequences. Personal inquiry. In which part of my life am I feeling immobilized? I know what I need to do. Am I willing to trust myself? Key ideas. Feeling helpless, acceptance of circumstances, change on the horizon, and take action. Key words. Revelation, movement, and encouragement. Sometimes we need others to encourage us, whether that's here physically or even in the spirit realm, but sometimes we can be that encouragement for others. Embrace those opportunities. All right, then we got facade, wearing a mask. Let me get a drink of water real quick. 57 minutes exactly when I looked at the timer. All right, facade, bronze god. This isn't who I am. The legend. The bronze boy Darnell was young when his father died and became the man of the family. Out for a walk one day, many years later, he was mesmerized by the sight of children playing. As a child, he'd never played, and he hid behind a tree, crying bitterly, then quickly buried his emotions. At the very end of his life, on his way to heaven, he stopped at the park and finally reclaimed the inner child he had left behind many years before. Inspiration. If you are unhappy in your relationships, you may be relating to others through a false sense of duty. Give up being something you're not. Personal inquiry. Bronze God is about reclaiming your life. What have I done to heal my childhood pain? Key ideas. Disassociating from yourself, reclaiming your life, healing childhood pain. Keywords, recovery, integration, and play. So, reconnecting with your inner child, being honest with yourself about your feelings, no longer masking, being honest with the outside world about who you are, the things that you're dealing with. Kind of going back to the grief affirmation we had yesterday. It's okay to admit that you're not okay. At least be honest with yourself about not being okay. All right, and then completion. This is the first time we're seeing this card. She's in a cemetery. There's flowers at the grave. The sun is rising. You can see the ancestor energy in the background. All right, final sunset. Okay, so maybe the sun is setting instead of rising. All right, final sunset. A life comes to a spectacular close. The legend. He was raised in an orphanage and never wore new boots until he enlisted in the army in 1942. By the end of the war, he was a decorated veteran and had survived what many of his brothers had not. Later, he became an actor. He was well loved, but history will remember him as a war hero. When he was finally laid to rest, Goddess smiled upon him as she received him into the heavens. Inspiration. This is a reminder to cherish all the beauty in your life. including endings. Reflect upon your part in history and discover what you value most. Do not fear completion. Embrace it. Personal inquiry. Am I present in the moment? How do I respond to the idea of completion? Key ideas. Honoring your legacy. A natural ending to a grand adventure. A new beginning on the horizon. A new adventure. Honoring those who give to us. Key words. Achievement, determination, and fulfillment. Wow. That's deep. Death and rebirth energy. Embracing the journey. Embracing the lessons learned. You know, asking yourself, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? Leading with compassion. Leading with forgiveness. Going back to our heart chakra affirmation. No longer feeling the need to wear a mask. Embracing your true, authentic identity. Going back to the self-acceptance affirmation. Nothing is more exhausting than endlessly working on yourself. When you offer your whole being fully to love, self-acceptance arises spontaneously. May I rest in our oneness, dear divine. That also lines up with our spontaneity affirmation from the Affirmators deck. Embracing, embracing those opportunities to be spontaneous. Knowing that, you know, a time will come when we won't get those opportunities anymore. Being grateful for those opportunities. Being grateful for those that came before us. Appreciating our angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and the Most High for, you know, the roles that they've played not only in this world, but within, you know, our own personal lives. I rebuke any negative energy being sent my way. I send it back with full love and forgiveness. All right, now we'll pull. Oh, I didn't read them first. We'll pull from the Wandering Heart Oracle. Yesterday we got Follow Your Heart, Familiarity, and Caged Bird. Don't feel like you have to live your life in a cage. Breaking out of the cage. That song, who is that? R. Kelly, I think it is. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. There it is. I believe I can soar. See me flying through that open door. Or there's an old classic hymnal song, I'll Fly Away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Like a bird from prison bars have flown, I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. So be freed from your cage, no matter what that cage is. If you're being held prisoner by a dragon, look that dragon in the eye and say, not today. Not today, Satan. Embrace the spontaneity that life sends your way. Love yourself. Value yourself. Even, there's so many times in life where we give up on ourselves in the deepest way possible. And then our angels, ancestors, spirit guides, the Most High, they come down and they say, not today. You're not giving up today. We're going to push you through this day. We're going to love you. We're going to support you. And we're going to nurture you. We're going to value you even on the days that you don't value yourself. We're going to appreciate you and encourage you even on the days when you don't value yourself. All right. I'm braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one in the eye and giving it a slow motion nod. Appreciating those people that come into your life that do have compassion, that do offer forgiveness, that nurture and love and support you. Remembering how rare that is to find. Look at that. Source number 1. Out of sight on the bottom of the deck. I am on the top of the deck. 1, 2, and 5. Which adds up to 8. We did get 88. Listen to your gut with our angel numbers. Trusting that even on those days when you feel like you can't make it, when you're doubting yourself, when you're lacking self-love, when you're lacking compassion for yourself, that source will be there to push you through. I just got really emotional all of a sudden. Embracing your emotions. Knowing that it's okay to express your emotions, even though it may feel uncomfortable. Don't be afraid. Be brave. Speak your truth. Embrace your truth. Have compassion for yourself during that time. Loving yourself through the pain. All right. Source number 1. I think it's the first time we've gotten that. You are the source of your own magic. What were we talking about earlier about the magic? Do you believe in magic? I wish I knew the words to that song, but I don't. All right. You are the source of your own magic, intuition, and acceptance. As time progresses, you move forward into a familiar space of light. You've grown tired of the games and the chase. You've matured almost as if overnight. Your heart is grounded in enduring energy. You no longer give yourself credit for the actions you take. You suppose the human experience will run its course. However, Spirit sees fit. You confide in a higher power to direct the path you walk, with high hopes of peaceful days in the near future. Taking everything day by day, you're in no sudden urgency to get anywhere specific. The quest alone is gratifying. You are more connected to your guides now than you have ever been. You are familiar with living a life of endless wonders. You have released your value of control. Your demeanor has evolved from tense to nonchalant. You believe that whatever will be, as long as you stay humble, receptive, and trusting in the instinct of divine timing. Look at that. We got divine timing with our affirmations today. Trusting in source, trusting in divine timing. I'll notice all the little ways I'm loved, nurtured, and supported. I am braver than I think. Setting boundaries doesn't make me a jerk. Just breathe. It was 1:10:10 when I looked at the timer. We did get 10:10 in our angel numbers today. All right, and then we got number 2, I am. We just got this card the other day. I am love in its purest form. Vulnerability supports my evolution. Certainty and empowerment. You are the embodiment of strength. You've learned to be accepting of the flaws, knowing that they do not define your existence. You have arrived back home, back at your home state of being. Here you are at ease with free-flowing assertiveness, and you know yourself. You are proud. You trust in your ability to make beneficial decisions. You have no regrets moving forward. You sit in gratitude, appreciating the beauty that is life. This feeling is beyond reach. You are right where you're supposed to be. Everything in divine timing, trusting in divine timing, trusting that everything happens for a reason. Trusting that as long as you lead with love, everything will happen the way it should. 1:11:33 as I looked at the timer. We did get 33 in our angel numbers today. All right, and then we got out of sight, which is number 5. Out of sight, out of mind. Do not be derailed by your heart's desires or tunnel vision. If it takes a distraction to channel your thoughts into a brighter place for now, then so be it. You will not be punished. Burdens will depreciate as long as you are calm and cognizant of their hold over you. You will have to set yourself free from paranoia. This does not mean you should neglect your duty to identify and work through your emotions. Baby steps. With faith, you will bounce back and the world will keep on turning. No harm or malice shall prosper against you. As long as you are not reveling in the spirit of panic or dismay, do not invite it over. Do not attract it. You are moving on towards exceptional places. You have a large range of promises and proposals, and many are counting on you to see them through. The longer you go without your baggage, the easier it will be to wean yourself off of it. Soon you will be thriving all over. This is a time to keep busy. Do not dwell on what could have or should have been. So, we're letting go of the woulda, shoulda, couldas. Very much going back to our chakra affirmation of the day. I let go of anger, resentments, and torments from the past. I do not give my power away to those involved. Forgiveness is a gift I give myself. I forgive myself for things I feel I could have done differently in the past, and I remind myself that my response could not have been any more evolved than it was at the time. I am compassionate to those in need as it shows them that they are not alone. I practice this by listening, sharing, understanding, and believing and being of service. All right, now we'll pull from the Animal Allies Birds deck. Walking by faith, not by sight. All right. Animal Allies Birds. Yesterday we got puffin, swan, and cockatoo. I feel like I look swollen today. Maybe it's just me. Just breathe. letting go of people, places, and things that no longer serve us. Going back to the declutter from the Angels of Abundance deck. Successful funding and partnership. Embracing the new partnerships that are coming in. Releasing the old ones with love and forgiveness and compassion. Understanding that not everybody can go on your journey with you. They were just there for a season, for a reason. Embrace the lessons and keep on moving. All right. Animal allies, birds. That's way too many. Crane, hawk, heron, eureka, meadowlark, and eagle. We're going to put those back in because that's way too many. Be brave today. Welcome in your abundance, and no matter what form it shows up. Ostrich fell out. Wren on the bottom of the deck. Woodpecker on the top of the deck. All right, so ostrich, wren, and woodpecker. Ostrich. Ostrich superpowers. Authority, deflecting negative vibes, staying grounded, speediness, ability to carry heavy loads. Ostrich wisdom. Take time to recharge your spirit and you'll have more energy to contribute to your highest good. Spending time in nature and away from the news cycle is a solid place to start. When ostrich appears, ramp up your self-care. We did see self-care in our angel numbers yesterday. Don't focus on what doesn't serve your highest good. Listen to inner alarm bells, however faint they may be, and take care to avoid things that set them off. Ostrich wants you to know you are not alone and you are not responsible for holding up the world. You get to choose what and to whom you devote your precious energy. So being aware of where you put your time, energy, effort. All right, and then we got wren. Wren and woodpecker are the last two cards of the deck, and they came out together, which is interesting. All right, wren, superpowers, determination, enthusiasm, spreading happiness, being comfortable in new situations, having a strong moral compass, valuing personal freedom. Wren, wisdom. The ability to blend can often be a secret weapon. Having a keen observing eye and adaptability helps cultivate confidence, especially in new surroundings. When Wren appears, keep your eyes and energy focused on your own goals and desires. If you've gotten off track, adjust your course and get back on the path you've spent your precious life clearing. Wren wants you to know you can pivot your outlook anytime. Cultivate positivity and enthusiasm. Bring your inner spirit's can-do attitude to anything you find yourself struggling with. Don't get discouraged. Adjusting to your environment. All right, woodpecker. Woodpecker superpowers. Being in sync with the natural world, courage, motivation, a second wind, discernment, restructuring old habits and routines. Woodpecker wisdom. Smart workarounds are always available. You simply need to look for them and decide when to employ them. When woodpecker appears, realign with what matters most to you. Realize that you can answer the door because opportunity is knocking. Woodpecker wants you to know you are in charge of the way you respond to your reality. You can change directions, choose a new path, and meet opportunities or challenges with creativity or surrender. Opportunity is knocking. Are you going to answer? It was 1:20:20 on the timer when I looked. Being aware of your energy, finding balance in your energy so that you can embrace the journey, listening to your gut, listening to your intuition, so that you can see those opportunities when they present themselves. All right, now we'll pull from the Animal Spirit deck. Yesterday we got sea serpent, otter, lamb, and fox. Finding new ways to express your creative energy. No longer feeling the need to wear a mask, no longer feeling the need to be someone that you're not. Placing boundaries where they're necessary, standing up for yourself. Accepting yourself the way you are. Accepting your boundaries, understanding what boundaries need to be set and accepting them. Embracing the challenges that life throws your way, knowing that it's a learning experience, that those challenges are meant to make us stronger. They're meant to build character. Look at that. Swan came out. That was one of our animal ally birds yesterday. Snake on the bottom of the deck. Whale on the top of the deck. Technically, it was in reverse. Interesting. All right, swan. So that's water energy. Water represents emotions. Swan. Effortless creativity. Sensitive mystic. Elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard and an inner vision likely to be revealed. Very much lining up with the woodpecker, wren, and ostrich. When in balance, infinite creative power. When out of balance, agitated, snippy, and lacking wisdom. To bring into balance, solo time and writing. Then we got snake. Well, we'll go with whale because that's also water energy. Whale. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace, and ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. When in balance, calm, steady, and deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips into the old story. To bring into balance, regular self care. Triple confirmation on the self care. Also, double confirmation on the compassion, lining up with our fourth chakra, heart chakra affirmation. Compassion and forgiveness. All right, and then we have snake, which is earth energy. Guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. A lot of energy out here about creativity. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that our creative life force lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. When in balance, prosperous, creative, and charismatic. When out of balance, starts and stops many things. To bring into balance, Kundalini, yoga, and meditation. Going back to the Get Centered from the Affirmators deck, a lot of meditation energy we've been getting a lot recently. That is definitely not my strong suit. I struggle with quieting my mind. I practice, but I still struggle. All right, now we'll pull from the Herbal Astrology Oracle, and then we'll get, yesterday we had Gutkala. Actually, how did it go? Gotkola. Gotkola is what we got yesterday. Number 17, higher consciousness. Connecting with the I am that's within all of us. Letting go of the facade. We did get creation out here with our Chakra Wisdom Oracles. A lot of creation energy. Embracing your creative side. Just breathe. Energetic balance. 21-21. 10-10. Embrace the journey. 88. Listen to your gut. 33. Anxiety. Today, I'll notice all the little ways I am loved, nurtured, and supported. Setting boundaries doesn't make me a jerk. Setting boundaries prevents me from being a jerk. I am braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one in the eye and giving it a slow motion nod. So, and then our chakra affirmation, compassion and forgiveness. Forgiving yourself, having compassion for yourself, maybe on the days when your energy is off. Listen to your gut about what may be causing your energy to be off. All right, Herbal Astrology Oracle. The first one that came out was Dragon's Blood, number 51. We also got 42, Conduit. 33, Teacher. We have 16, Journey on the bottom of the deck. And 13, Strength, Motherwort on the top of the deck. All right, 16, Journey Muckuna. Let's see how to pronounce that because I feel like I don't have that ability today. Never mind. I'm so used to being able to do that. Mucuna. Number 16, Journey. State of transition, leaving behind what is familiar, moving toward the unknown, and connection. Astrological ruler, Mercury and Uranus. The large velvet beans of this plant have been roasted and ground to make coffee substitute for hundreds of years. But the plant was used in traditional healing remedies for thousands of years before that. In ancient medicine, it's known and used to treat parasites, stress, anxiety, rheumatic disorders, menstrual issues, diabetes, and even cancer. In India, it is considered an aphrodisiac, menstrual promoter, uterine stimulant, nerve tonic, and blood purifier. In traditional Chinese medicine and herbal tradition, it was categorized as a vital essence, enhancing herb. Plants that fall into this category are immensely rejuvenating. It has a deeply restorative effect on the brain, nervous system, and hormonal systems. It is believed that gene leaks as we age or suffer a lot of stress, but this plant is able to replenish it. Modern studies have identified this plant as an alternative treatment for Parkinson's disease. Its naturally occurring high concentration of L-DOPA causes the brain to release dopamine, stimulating the pituitary gland to produce a human growth hormone and raise testosterone levels. It is ruled by both Mercury and Uranus, as many of its chemical assets stimulate key neurotransmitters in the brain. Also known as the molecules of higher consciousness, it directly ignites the pineal gland, also known as the third eye or the seat of the soul. It energizes and activates subtle pathways in the body and mind, becoming one of nature's greatest consciousness enhancing plants. Guidance. You may be in a state of transition, about to leave familiar territory and initiate a new journey. Something in your gut is telling you it's time for a shift, to enter a new physical space and or field of awareness. The powers of both Mercury and Uranus oftentimes appear as spontaneous opportunities out of the blue. This is the power of the higher mind magnetizing opportunities that match your spirit's frequency. Don't resist the journey in the name of comfort. The overwhelming rush of emotions that rise before big opportunities is signaling opportunities for growth. While the waters might seem turbulent at times, the sea of opportunities ahead will be tranquil. Let go of whatever is holding you back, be it from the past or present, and hold your gaze steadily into your future self. Very much lining up with all of our angel numbers, but also lining up with our affirmations of spontaneity and abundance. That very much kind of just signifies everything that already came out today. Embrace the journey, 1010. Find your energetic balance, 2121. Listen to your gut, 88. And anxiety, 33. Release anxiety, overcoming the fear of embracing the spontaneity. And listening to your gut, it specifically talked about that. It specifically talked about listening to your gut and embracing spontaneity, releasing the fear and anxiety about stepping out of your comfort zone, accepting the accepting the journey, even though it may be uncomfortable, knowing that Source is always with us, guiding us and protecting us along the way. All right, now we'll pull from the Mary Magdalene deck and we'll be done for the day. Yesterday we got Golden Light. Healing comes from within. 135.42 on the timer when I looked. This is your first time coming across one of my videos, I would appreciate a thumbs up. A subscription would be even better. Know that I have over 600 videos here on YouTube. Plus, I do have another channel. The link to that channel is in my description box of this channel, along with my Cash App information and a link to my Facebook page as well. All right. Mary Magdalene, Mary, Mary, full of grace, what advice can you give us today? Don't forget to declutter your mind, declutter your space, declutter your life in general. Make room for the new. Beloved. Hasn't been that long since we got that one. We also got the third power. Humility is my greatest strength. That's the one that came out first, so that's the one we're going to take. The third power. Humility is my greatest strength. Being humble, letting go of pride, of ego, of arrogance. The third power, ignorance. Humility is my greatest strength. Ignorance is our ultimate blind spot. It's the insular thought that we exist somehow as the lead role in a movie the ego is directing. Ignorance is a profound lack of vision. It's an inability to actually see ourselves and the impact of our actions. There's a powerful exchange between desire and the soul in Mary's gospel. Desire in this dialogue is what the ego craves. It isn't the desire of the soul. It's the unconscious needs of the ego. So this egoic desire says to the soul in Mary chapter 9, verse 2, quote, I did not see you go down, yet now I see you go up. So why do you lie since you belong to me? End quote. The soul responds, quote, I saw you. You did not see me, nor did you know me. You mistook the garment I wore for my true self, and you did not recognize me. End quote. The ego thinks it is the true self, but the ego is actually only the garments or the layers of identity that the ego acquires. What's true is the soul beneath all of those egoic desires. What's true is what remains constant even as our egoic desires shift from one need to the next. The way to dismantle ignorance is to see through the consistently shifting desires of the ego. It's to see that the egoic desires are like clouds in the sky, and the soul is the sky itself. We can try to see ignorance for what it is. It's not lasting. It's not permanent. It has the potential to be fleeting. If we have the humility to ask what is beneath this egoic desire. Humility is our greatest strength. If we can let the garments of the ego fall, we can see ourselves more fully and recognize what's lasting. And if we have the strength to be humble enough to understand that our ignorance is only human, then we get to experience the way that our forgiveness is also divine. The soul voice meditation. What am I ready to see that's deeper than this egoic desire? Very much lining up with our chakra affirmation of the day, compassion and forgiveness. I have compassion for myself and for those around me. Don't lead with your ego, lead with your soul, lead with your heart. Love yourself enough to where you can share that love with others. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. It may not only better their day, but it could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Remember, all my information is on the description of the page. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.